Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Pixelist podcast. Well, is this a not? Is this a podcast? I don't. The branding doesn't really matter, but
What an odd thing to say. It's very clearly a
well,
podcast.
yeah, it is. But like, is everything we do a podcast necessarily? Sometimes they're just like videos. But
That's
I mean,
true.
I guess it is. I
But
guess
to
it
be
is.
fair, I know people who they say they have a podcast and it's a YouTube channel. So I
Yeah,
think it's used interchangeably these days.
yeah. Well,
So,
weird. Semantics aside. Welcome back, everybody. It's the place we talk about all the nerdy things we love. That's Blake.
mhm.
I'm Will. And the reason I was being weird about whether or not calling it a podcast is because today we're just having a quick little video to get hype about the launch of Campaign 4 tomorrow. We are
Mhm.
just over 24 hours away since it, premieres at night for us, but one day, man, and we are getting into this thing. It still feels a bit surreal to me. Like, I don't know if it's going to really register until 9 p.m. tomorrow when it actually
Yeah.
happens. Because we've been in a bit of a little like it's been like 6 months.
We've been in a little slump,
Yeah.
you know? Little
So
summer slump.
we've been a little summer hiatus. And yeah, so it doesn't feel real still, but we're
Yeah.
here. Like, we've basically arrived again
A lot
tomorrow.
of people have been asking me, are y'all still active? Are you still doing? No, I'm just kidding. No one's asked me that. You know when people on social media are like, a lot of people have asked me, and you're like, did anyone ask you that?
Yeah, well,
Well,
Brennan and Matt specifically reached out,
yeah,
and they
they
were
reached out
like,
to us.
"Guys, we really prepped this with hopes of
Yeah.
you guys would be chatting about it. So are
Brennan was
y'all
like,
coming?"
"Oh man, we're gonna have to cancel the show." if you
Yeah,
guys aren't." No, nobody asked us, and in fact, probably some of you were like, "Who are you guys again?" Oh yeah, I accidentally clicked on your video one time in the algorithm. That's how we get them.
that's
But
right.
yes, for those who've wondered, we channeled our inner Witcher season 3, and just I'm sure we had some content we wanted to talk about that we never got around to. And some things we wanted to discuss. We never got a chance to talk about Divergence or Age of Umbra and a couple of one-shots that were really good, or shorter stories that were really good. And as a hobbyist channel, that's just kind of life. It never came to be. But we are extremely excited for Campaign 4. Even though our last video, someone commented like, "Y'all could not be less excited." So we are very excited for Campaign 4. Excited to talk about it. And Will and I thought we would do, like Will said, a little video today, kind of talking about what do we know about Campaign 4. And more importantly, we've always been good at our Pixelist predictions. So also an untrue statement, by the way. But we will certainly have some predictions today. For anything, though, how are you, man?
I'm good, man. We were just very briefly talking about this. A little maybe getting a little cold or something. So y'all forgive me if I'm sniffing or coughing into the mic. I'll try to mute, but
No.
other than that, I'm doing all right. How
No.
about yourself?
Doing okay. I just got off a 2-hour conference call.
That sounds
Um,
miserable.
It was. It went the whole 2 hours. And I had to present a lot of information too.
Yeah.
So they endured me for I was like, you guys are probably when you say something like I almost said defecating. That's not what that word means. That's not the right word.
Deprecating, like self-deprecating.
Defecating. Yes. Defecating is
A
not
little bit
that.
different.
When you're just defecating around
You
friends.
just got to do it.
No, when you say something deprecating and you hope someone else will be like, "No, it was
Yeah.
good." Well, so I was like, well, you guys endured me for 2 hours. And they were just kind of like,
It's just
silence. I was like, yeah, that's how I feel
Okay.
most days. So anyway, but no, I'm doing okay. I'm excited. I've been excited for this call. Been waiting for this call. I'm really excited for tomorrow. I have just a couple of morning meetings, and then in the afternoon, I'm gonna start kind of mentally gearing up. And then
Yeah.
I think maybe a good starting point is rituals. Our ritual for Camping 4. This is, for listeners too, what do you typically do before a campaign debuts? I asked this in the Discord, which, by the way, I was on the Critical Role subreddit today, and someone said, does anyone know a Discord where people talk about the episodes and can enjoy it? and have like post episode theories. I know one, and I wouldn't recommend ours. I would actually, no, I'm just kidding. Our Discord every week, we do a live chat. We watch the episode, and then it's a great place to talk about the episode. So definitely, if you're watching this video, you didn't know that, we have a Discord link in the description of the episode below. So you check that out. But Larissa talked about how last year she went to Taco Bell prior to C4 or C3 and was asking if she should do it again this time. I think I might do a little Chick-fil-A. That's what I'm kind of thinking.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, so as you guys may or may not know, that was my ritual for C3, and I haven't done it in a long time. So I don't know. I need to talk to Ashley and see what she wants to do. I'm gonna try to rope her in. I don't think I'll get her. Like she'll probably watch tomorrow's episode, but I don't have high confidence that she'll be locked in for the whole thing. But I'm gonna see what she wants to do. Maybe try to entice with like, what do you want to get to eat?
Yeah.
Like let's make it a thing. So I don't have any hard concrete plans yet, but we'll definitely do something. Maybe get some like wine or something too.
Yeah, maybe I'll go full gentleman mode and like grill a steak or something.
Ooh.
You know? I think in my younger days I would go like full on snacks, like junk food. And I've noticed particularly like in the last year that like I just feel sick.
Same.
I think just my pre-40-year-old body, I'm just like, I'll just veg out with like actual like candy and junk food, and I physically feel sick the next day. So
Same. I think it's partly because I have no self-control though. Like a normal person, like if you had like
for sure.
if you had your snacks in moderation, it's probably fine. But like this is I mean, you know this about me. I do a lot of intermittent fasting, so like I don't really ever snack. But so like here and there I'll like, and this just happened. We were at the store and I saw some like Doritos, a flavor I'd never heard of, but they sounded really good. And I was like, oh man, I haven't had like Doritos in forever. So I bought it. And then 2 days ago, I was like, "Ooh, I'm just gonna have a few," and I ate like the entire. It's like not like an individual bag, but like a bag. I ate the whole thing, and I felt miserable afterwards. And I'm like,
well done. Little Pixelist lore drop. Will and I don't like Cool Ranch Doritos. I just included you so I wouldn't feel.
I don't know if did I know this about you. I'm sure we've probably like talked about it at some point. You like dislike them, or you just like nacho cheese more?
They're just kind of gross.
No, I can't. I can't go with you on that journey.
They have a weird smell. If someone opens a bag of them, you're just like, gosh.
I mean, fair, but I feel like that's true of all Doritos, not just the Cool Ranch variety.
It's like when someone has Ruffles, which also kind of a strange chip, by the way. I'm not a big Ruffles guy. And
like just the regular Ruffle?
Any Ruffle.
Bro, the cheddar sour cream Ruffle?
I was about to say the sour cream and onion.
S tier.
F tier.
What? When someone opens the cheddar sour cream Ruffle, bro?
Like, gosh.
That's one of the best chips.
No, it has a very untrusting name too. What's a Ruffle? I don't like it.
It's the ridge. They got the ridges.
No, I conceptually understand. I just feel uncomfortable. Man. If we ever have a fan meetup and someone like pulls out like their bag of Ruffles, I might be like, I don't know about this guy.
Man, what I'm learning today is you have questionable chip taste. Don't like Cool Ranch. Don't like cheddar sour cream Ruffles. What are your chips?
If like I had barbecue to eat a Ruffle, guy. Dude, I love Lay's barbecue chips. Man, I will put down that whole bag.
I like barbecue chips for the record, but like they would be like middle tier for me.
We'll have to have like on like a Friday stream, like a snack rating or something. I don't know. We'll have to see. So anyway, I think definitely if I didn't eat like whole bags at a time, I would probably, respond better. But but yeah, so I do have a little bit of a couple things in mind, but let us know what your ritual is for the campaign, and let's maybe dive into like what do we know? What do we know about the campaign?
Yeah,
and I don't know if you have any notes on your end. I have some notes on my end.
I've got and I've actually we've got some production value today. I've got it set up where for the characters,
Oh,
I can pull them
perfect.
up and show like the art.
I have them as well, but yours might be a better setup than mine since you're the one recording. I
Yeah.
was just going to share my screen. But that might be a good starting point. Is the
Yeah.
characters? We have 13 people playing at the table. We won't get into like the dynamics, so to like of like what is a West Marches campaign. I think all of that stuff has kind of been talked about at length. But let's talk about what do we know about the characters? And if you want to pull up the character arts, we can go through them. Oh, and
Yeah.
I'll also, while Will's getting that ready, I'll also say just a general shout out to the Crit Roll wiki. This is criticalrole.fandom.com/wiki. The people who maintain this website are incredible. As those of you who've watched Critical Role for a long time, you probably remember Crit Roll stats and how sad it was that that website went down. The Critical Role wiki has actually done a great job with like, it's not as detailed as Crit Roll stats was, but like things that happened in episodes, plot summaries, character arts, items. And I particularly want to shout them out only because this kind of work is a painstaking process. And Will and I made a comment on one of our episodes about not being able to find like a random detail. And they reached out to us and said like, which link was it that wasn't working? Like, we want to fix it. Which to me just screams like these are people who are so deeply committed to Critical
Yeah.
Role, and it's just something worth admiring, you know. So that is just like my shout out currently of, hey, check out the wiki and appreciate the wiki. I don't know if there's like a buy me a coffee on there or what have you, but certainly promote them if you can. But anyway, that was my random segue.
Yeah.
So
Huge shout out to the folks over there.
yeah,
But yeah, so you won't be able to see this, but I'll tell you which one we're doing.
I have it
So
up. I have the Instagram up on my end. So if
okay.
you just tell me what you're looking at, then I can see it.
Yeah, so the first one I got pulled up here is Matt Mercer's character, Sir Julian Davinos. And y'all bear with me on these pronunciations because some of them
Davanos.
Davinos. Yeah, who know, like, this one not that intimidating, but some of their names I have no idea how to
Yes,
pronounce.
some of them are. I had, and to your credit, I not only looked these all up, but I went and like listened to how they were being
Oh,
referred to. That's the only reason I know. Is
okay.
that
Well,
I
yeah. Okay, so
actually
yeah, Davinos, is that what you said?
Davanos.
Davinos. Okay.
Julian Davanos.
Davinos. And I think we know some of their I don't think they've officially like Critical Role hasn't said like this character is this class, but I think in some of the
Yeah.
interviews some of them have been revealed.
Yes.
I don't
Yes.
think we know Matt's for sure, or do we?
We do not. We
Okay.
do not. We know he's a human, is what we
Right.
know.
And he's given the vibe I get is both like fighter and a little bard, but I don't think it's bard because there's like 3 other characters that are giving bard. So I'm leaning fighter for that reason. But what do you think?
The thing of interest is what looks like a rapier in the character art, and it's hard to know like what is take the character art and make it versus like how much detail was given. Which, by the way, I love all the character arts.
Yeah.
The character arts are freaking awesome. They're so exciting to look through. Really cool. But so he has the pauldron on one shoulder. He has the is that a metal arm or like what is that exactly?
I thought it was just like a gauntlet, but like
Okay,
it
it
might
be a
be like a
Yeah.
like a prosthetic.
But anyway, has the rapier also. So fighter, and then I wondered if there was some kind of like hybrid, like multi-class there. Do we know what level everyone's starting at? By the way, has that been said?
I don't know. If it has been said, I'm unaware.
Okay, I gotcha.
The only thing I heard about this is like Abria was kind of like saying he was like not a bad guy, but like she was like, "Oh, I don't like that." It was some comment like that. So he's
That's when she was talking about Matt Mercer.
Oh,
So
that checks
no,
out. That checks out.
I'm just kidding.
So, might be a little rough around the edges. We've talked about this before, but I'm just excited to see Matt
Bro,
play in a long form campaign and what
yes.
he does with a PC. So
Good for him.
I'm excited.
Good for him. Yeah. Okay, let's go on to the next one.
All right, so the next one here is Travis Willingham, and you probably have to correct me here, but Tayor?
Yep,
Okay, Pride Sire.
that's right. Yeah,
All
Taylor
right.
Pridesire.
which we got this really cool, like, I don't know the official name, but like the lion humanoid.
Yeah. Dude couldn't help himself, huh?
He couldn't. I was surprised. I was like, he just played a werewolf. Is he gonna do something else? He's like, nope, I need it. Keep it coming.
Yeah.
Um, or go ahead.
I was gonna say he's a lion folk and he is a paladin. And that's
Okay,
confirmed.
nice. Which he's played a little paladin before, so
Yep.
I guess I'm assuming. I mean, who knows? But I'm assuming maybe this will be a pure paladin, whereas previously he was a little multi-class paladin.
Yeah. We're
Um,
referring to campaign 2.
yeah,
Ford.
Ford had a few levels in paladin back then. Um, so I mean, the look of this one is awesome. I'm really excited to see kind of what's going on here and what type of paladin he is in terms of like what his oath was and
Mm-hmm.
um just we've had kind of a I was going to say more than anyone, but that's not true. All the cast of Critical Role have kind of done some different things with their characters, but going from Grog to Ford to
Mm-hmm.
Chetney, Travis has done a lot of different things, so I'm interested to see
Yeah.
kind of where this character lands. If he is more serious,
Yeah.
especially after a Chet, or I don't
Yeah.
know.
I definitely get vibes of like, um, yeah, more serious leader-esque. I think Travis really thrives in that role. I mean, Chetney was great, obviously, but I think everyone was so zany at that table. So we might get some more serious and earnest characters, which could be a nice little twist. But yeah.
Yeah, I would love to see Travis in a more like spotlighted, firmly leader role because like Ford
Yeah.
was kind of that, and we won't get into spoilers, but he was also like very reluctant and kind of like
Mhm.
shied away from the spotlight. And there were other characters in C2 that were kind of more main character energy, if you will.
Yeah. Hmm.
But Travis is so smart, and we talk about him at the table all the time about like how such a great player he is in terms of like
Hmm.
giving people their moments, but also like kind of knowing when a decision needs to be made and like kind of pushing in that direction. So I'd love to see him like in game kind of have that authority, for lack of a better word. Like, so if this character was like a very determined, charismatic leader, like I'd be here for it.
Yeah, that would be cool.
um, all right. So next up, we've got Laura Bailey as Thimble, who seems to be a fairy, and Rogue, I believe, is confirmed for her as
Yep.
well.
Rogue is confirmed.
And this one's cool. Like, I'm wondering, like, is she as tiny as this appears? Like, there's a button that's like, taking up her entire waist essentially. So, like, I'm curious. I don't know enough about necessarily the fairy race or whatever, but I wonder if she can change sizes or if she will literally be like in the palm of other characters' hands in terms of her size.
Yeah, let's see here what it says for D&D. Um,
And it also appears that she's like literally wielding needles as well, like in terms of scale.
I think of the size that it's listed in D&D. Let's see here real quick.
I think she
Why I can't
described her
see
character
the...
as like a killer, like a cold blooded killer.
I'm all about it. I'm all about it. Okay, here we go. Okay. Ephemeral spirits born of the changing seasons. No fae are quite as fantastical as the fairy. Not all are bright natured spirits of legend, which would track. They can be timeless and ageless, aloof and whimsical, or dangerous and vengeful. They can bestow blessings or curses. It doesn't say anything about the size. I would imagine, like, functionally, they probably aren't tiny.
Aren't or are?
I would presume they probably are not tiny, but they're likely maybe, a small creature,
Yeah.
like functionally.
I'm
Actually,
interested
here
to
we go.
see.
Size. Oh, here we go. Size. Fairies. Oh, actually, fairies can range anywhere from 6 inches to almost 2 feet tall, and your size is tiny.
Okay.
So there you go. She absolutely could be.
It'd be
Fairy
really
size.
interesting if there was a 6-inch PC. I
Yeah,
mean, not that. I mean,
yeah,
who cares, right? But it'd be cool to see
yeah,
like how that dynamic affects the story in terms of like you literally like fly through keyholes potentially, or just like
yeah.
do some crazy stuff. So
Very interesting that I always like when we get like sort of non-traditional races.
yeah,
I've played at tables where like everyone's a human. Maybe there's a mixture of elves. So it's kind of cool to see the mixture of like true fantasy of different fantasy. I say races. I don't know if I think maybe they call them species now, but you know what I mean.
mm,
Um, but anyway,
agreed. And from vibe alone, this character feels mischievous and like
yes,
more akin to a jester than an
yeah,
I'm blanking. Imogen. There we go.
yeah, yeah.
Which I loved Imogen, but Jester's one of my favorites. So I would love an excuse for Laura to kind of tap into her
Yeah.
zaniness again.
Yeah.
Um,
Also notice the button on her side. So I guess, yeah, I guess she is actually tiny.
yeah. I'm excited for
Um,
that.
Brennan, that poor DM to have to, I just think of so many things are undone by having
Yeah.
a small
It's like,
creature that can
oh,
just fly around.
like, okay.
It's like you're locked in the room. Just fly through the keyhole. Right. This room
Laura!
doesn't have a keyhole. you know. Okay. All right, let's go to the next one.
All right. The next one is Talison's character. You'll probably have to help me with this one. Belair
hmm
Lethalia.
Yep, that's right.
Okay. And I don't know. I have no idea on the supposed species of this character. Has that been
This
revealed?
is an elf warlock.
Okay. But he's got like the jigsaw vibe
Yeah,
going
dude.
on.
This is so peak Taliesin.
Yeah,
I
I
feel
can't.
like,
And didn't he say that he's like a museum curator
yeah,
or something? Which I
yeah,
know it's not at all related, but it obviously makes me think of the museum from Campaign 3.
yeah.
I can't remember the guy's
Hydroga,
name. Hydroga, maybe.
yeah, Hydroga, yeah.
But yeah, this
Uh,
feels like Talison's, just playing himself basically, like this
yeah.
ancient entity with mysterious artifacts. So
This character art is fantastic.
yes.
I love this one. Shout out, by the way, to Lauren Hontania, who is the artist, by the way, who has done all of these character arts. So just mentioning that, but
I love
yeah,
how
Elf Warlock though.
Elf Warlock, you said.
hmm
I wonder, just like the Paladin, this makes me wonder, like, what pact are we going to see here?
hmm Yep.
But yeah, absolutely peak. Just everything about this does scream Taliesin.
Yeah.
Oh, something we haven't that I meant to do before we even started was maybe guess which group all of these characters are going to be in. Because I don't
Yes.
think that's been revealed, and
Um,
I for one have not intentionally like scrubbed through the videos to see like clips of who's playing with who. So this would purely just be conjecture. But has any of that been revealed?
let's touch on that after we do all the characters
Okay,
because
we'll go
there,
back through.
there has been some chatter about it,
Okay,
and I'll just reshare what someone else has guessed based on whiteboard screenshots,
okay,
essentially.
all right.
So we can do that. At
So
the
we'll do
end,
that.
though.
We'll do that after we go through.
Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
So next up, we've got Ashley Johnson as Valus.
Yep.
Okay, and this appears to be some sort of drow.
Yes.
And
And we don't know. We don't
we,
know the class.
okay, the vibe I'm getting is like cleric.
Yeah, I can see that.
Basically,
that.
just because of like the incense thing. I think Ashley said this character uses a whip. I don't know if we can really extract anything from that. But really cool vibes. Really
Yeah.
like not sinister is not the right word because I don't mean like evil, but like
Mhm.
I feel like this character's got some secrets. You know?
Yeah. I do wonder if we could see some like ethically questionable. Ethically questionable. What a weird way to say that. Some evil characters, or like some very morally gray characters.
Yeah,
Because
for sure.
certainly, you see these character arts, they're not like beaming with heroism, I guess, and like, we must do right.
Yeah,
So I think some of that intrigue is something Brennan also does a really good job of engaging with.
I agree. I mean, I certainly think they'll be the quote unquote good guys in terms of
Right.
they're the protagonists, but 100% that I think they could be very morally questionable and morally gray, especially
Right.
with a group so big and so many different tables. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if, there even are some like, oh wait, are we the baddies? We
Yeah.
talked about a lot in C3. But yeah, I can't. So we know nothing about this character, but it does kind of remind me of wow, what was her character's name in Umbra? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Just I don't know what, like, the character aesthetic gives me Umbra vibes,
Yeah, sure.
which
Yeah,
maybe
I can
that
see
means
that.
nothing like her actual character from Umbra, but that's just kind of like the vibe and
Yeah.
aesthetic. It's kind of Dark Soulsy.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay.
You think cleric too, or what would you think if you had
I
to?
like, yeah, no, I actually wasn't sure. I thought some kind of caster was what I was thinking.
Yeah,
And the incense, you're right. The incense makes me think cleric for sure.
be cool if it was like some sort of like culty, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And if you
Um,
think about it, like what's interesting about her character is the gods are gone. The gods are dead.
right, right.
And
So I wonder how that
so
works.
there's some intrigue here around, is this like a we were wrong and like we hold fast to, is there like a hidden god who
Mm.
escaped being killed? Like there's some very interesting intrigue
Yeah, that
around
is
this
interesting.
conflict. So
Intriguing. All right. Next up, we've got Liam O'Brien as Hollandil. Hollandil.
Halandil,
Hollandil
Halandil,
Fang.
yep,
Which looks to be a little half orc bard.
he is a orc bard.
Orc bard, full orc.
Yep,
Okay.
full orc bard.
I'm very excited for this.
Yeah,
I'm very excited for this because none of Liam's characters have really had, and I mean, who knows? Like, not all bards have to be the quippy,
yeah,
charismatic. But this guy is giving those vibes, um,
yes,
which Liam hasn't really done. I mean, not in a
yeah,
full on campaign. We've seen him kind of
yeah.
get zany with it in some one shots and stuff. But yeah, I'm really excited. This is one of the ones I'm most excited for, just because to see this side of Liam, especially after he
Um,
took kind of a, for lack of a better word, subdued role in C3, kind of like letting
yeah,
everyone else have the spotlight most of the
yeah.
time. Him being a bard very much gives spotlight, so excited to see
From
that.
a lore perspective, Halandil Fang, presumably the brother of Thazil Fang, who is the NPC that effectively, without spoiling anything, we don't know
Right.
anything, brings all of the characters together. Because I think the first episode opens with the imprisonment and maybe also execution of Thazil Fang. So I wonder, yeah, if this is like a, avenging his brother. I don't know the age of Thazil. I guess it could have been his father. But that's the connection there.
Okay, yeah, I
So,
didn't even put that together. That's so interesting.
mhm.
Which let's come back to that
Okay.
because I did want to talk about kind of the inciting incident, as it were. But yeah, okay. So
It's
next up,
the Jazzy, by the way, not Thazil. The Jazzy Fang. Excuse me.
okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Next up, we've got Marisha Ray as Murray, maybe Murray Magnuson,
Let's see here. Mine's out of order, so hang on. I think this was Murray. Murray.
Murray,
It could be Murray. I think it's Murray.
which is a
Magnuson.
dwarven. Do we know the class here?
We do not.
Okay, this could be bard. This could be. I mean, it could be like a fighter or something, but there's no visible weapon.
Kind of
So
looks like a performer or something. Like you see, like the
yeah,
long cloak with the tassels at the end.
yeah. That's why I'm
Um,
like thinking bard, but I mean clearly
yeah,
Liam's a bard. But you could have, I mean, with 14 or however many PCs we have, we could
yeah,
clearly have some overlap.
yeah.
Um,
So not sure.
but looks fun.
Yeah,
Also, kind of not as much of a tonal shift compared to Liam, but because Laudna was really funny, but um, Marisha's never played a bard, so
hmm.
it would be
Could
interesting to see that side of her.
could she be an artificer? Because I
Yeah.
notice on the bill of the hat, it looks like
Oh yeah, like
maybe
a
like
magnifying glass,
spectacle.
maybe.
Yeah, like something like you rotate to like look You know, like the old
Yeah.
scientists who have like the big one
Yeah.
and then they rotate to the smaller one. So I wonder if that's a potential.
Yeah. And kind of like if we're looking at it through that lens, I could kind of get like a Gilmore vibe, like kind of
Yeah.
like,
Hmm.
like a genius, like
Yeah.
inventor, but also very like
Yeah.
charismatic. And
Yeah.
so yeah, I'm excited to see what she does with this.
Could be a sorcerer or wizard. You
Yeah.
know, it could be that the cloak is a carpet, like
Ooh.
magic carpet,
Yeah, those,
maybe. It kind of
yeah,
looks like a carpet.
true.
Um, so I don't know.
I could see
We're
that.
we're putting our detective hats on
Yeah.
today, you know?
Okay. I likes it. All right.
Okay.
Next up, we've got Sam Riegel as Wykander Halavar.
Wickander Halavar. Yeah.
Wykander Halavar.
Or
This
maybe it was
guy,
Whitehander. I remember that one.
do we know his class?
No, but looks like some caster and maybe like could be a cleric. Not sure.
To me, he's giving sorcerer or wizard vibes. He's giving
Yeah.
me Age of Arcanum Calamity vibes, to be honest.
Yeah. And he is a
Um,
human. He is a human.
human. He
Yeah.
definitely. I mean, again, it's not like we can tell much from just an art, but it makes me wonder if we're gonna get a more serious Sam.
Yeah.
Which we kind of did in FCG, like sort of, but not too much.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm interested. I'm interested to see kind of what direction he's going here.
Hmm.
All right.
Okay. On to the next one.
Next up, we've got Luis Carrazzo as Azun Nayar.
Okay, hang on. Let me find. Oh, nope. Hang on. Yeah, here we go. This one I can't remember if it was a Zune or a Zune. I think it was a Zune.
Um, but this man's looking fierce. He's definitely giving fighter or paladin to me.
Yes. Let's see here. Human.
Maybe barbarian.
Yeah, he is a human. Yeah, some kind of melee fighter
So
for
yeah,
sure.
it looks like he's got like some electricity going around his fist, which
Yeah,
would give paladin to me. I don't really know why necessarily. It also looks like
Yeah.
is he clasping like a holy symbol or something? Other hand.
yeah. I bet that is what that is. I think you're right because there's like electrical energy coming off of it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So,
maybe a paladin.
I could
for
see
sure.
paladin, and I'm obviously drawn from a very obvious well here, but like given his performance in Calamity, I'm wondering like kind of devoted soldier vibe.
Yeah, for sure.
But love this design.
Yeah.
Very like it feels like this would be like a character I'd play in an RPG.
Okay, on to the next one.
All right, next we've got Robbie Damon as Cadigan Vale.
Yes, this
This one's sick.
is sick. So cool, man.
The wolf man with like
Looks
the
like the
ethereal
spectral-
paw.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
what's going on here?
Yeah,
So
let's see.
what, ranger or druid, I guess.
He's a ranger, human
Okay.
ranger.
So I
human-
guess that's his familiar's not the right word.
his beast, his companion.
Yeah.
Yeah. his companion.
Do they have the same scar on their eye?
Oh yeah, you're right.
So like I wonder if they've got like some sort of crazy connection or if that's like makeup. Or
Yeah.
not makeup, but like if Cadigan doesn't actually have that scar but just kind of wears that.
Yeah.
I don't
that's a
know.
cool idea.
But yeah, this character looks awesome.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah. Super excited to just have Robbie back in general.
Yeah. This one looks like he means business.
Yeah.
You know? All right. What's next?
Next up, we've got Abria Iyengar as Taisha Loy. I don't know how you pronounce the double L there.
Aisha Loy. Yeah, I think that's right.
Appears to be orc. Maybe half orc.
She is an orc.
Orc.
She is an orc. Well, I'll let you guess the class.
I'm thinking do we know?
We do know.
Okay, so I don't know, but my guess would either be well, I have three guesses: druid, cleric, or uh, I guess just druid or cleric,
Yeah,
warlock or warlock.
she is a druid.
Okay.
She's a druid.
And I guess those are leaves. She's kind of conjuring. Do we know what like? I guess they might not even be high enough level for like what circle.
Yeah, we're not sure. At least I don't think we are. Um, I saw a list of subclasses elsewhere where people were like, "This is confirmed," and then like the comments were like, "None of this is confirmed." So I don't know. I don't know what actually has been confirmed in terms of
Yeah.
subclass.
Yeah, I mean, and
So
especially if we don't, and I mean, maybe people do know what level they are, but if they don't, like, how would anyone know anything?
yeah,
You get like there's circle, oath, and pact. Are those all level 3?
no. Well, they weren't in 2014 rule set. They were at different levels,
Hmm.
and I feel like they were moved for the most
For the
recent 2024. But I don't remember if they were moved to all be the same or if they were just moved. The actual level number was changed, so I can't remember.
I wonder. It's kind of, and I'm pulling from a very obvious well here, but I kind of getting like Hikea vibes from Wizard, the Witch, and the Wild One. Like, kind of a
All
very
about
like,
it.
yeah. So, or also I can't remember the more feral druid, or they're not even druids, they're
Grimoire.
witches. Yeah,
Yeah,
kind of like a
yeah,
Grimoire and Hikea
yeah.
fusion a little
The
bit.
Wild Hunt
Yeah.
one. Yeah. No, that's a cool idea for sure.
So yeah, I love Abria. Can't wait to see what she does with the. I mean, we've seen what she can do with a long term character in Wizard, the Witch, and the Wild One, but we've never seen her as
Right.
a long stint on Critical Role. So I'm excited
Yes.
for what she's got
Yes.
cooking for us. Um, Also, presumably, I know we're not quite there yet, but presumably is paired with Matt, given her comments on his character.
Let's see. That's a good point.
Which could have just been based on their first sessions when everyone was there as well.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I don't think they've been seen together in some of the whiteboard stuff,
Okay,
but that could
interesting.
be true.
Okay, well, we're almost done, so we'll circle back to that conversation.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got Whitney Moore as Tyranny.
Hmm.
Which my guess would have been tiefling, but I actually did see a quote where they said not tiefling, not a devil, but a demon.
Yes.
Which you're more in the know on the D&D stuff these days. Is that like a are those all three explicit races, or is this something maybe new
Yes.
that's kind of been homebrewed?
Yes. Tiefling's probably most familiar for people because it's a typical playable race. And then typically non-playable is demons and devils. Devils are from the domain of Asmodeus in the Nine Hells, and demons are from the abyss and associated with like pure chaos and I guess destruction of everything. I can't remember the exact details. And they hate each other. Devils and demons hate each other.
Okay,
So
interesting.
I thought tiefling too until I saw the correction of a demon. Love the play on the name, by the way, only because I had a friend named Tyranny, which I always thought, your name is Tyranny. Um, so I like the name. Very curious how she plays this character and
Yes.
what happens here.
Do we know the
Again,
class?
we do not know the class.
Okay. It's kind of giving cleric with like the I don't know why I'm saying that, but like the I guess maybe because it looks like kind of like nunnish with like the hood. Um,
Yeah.
but cleric or caster at least it feels like. He seems to be. Oh, and she's like praying. It looks like.
Yeah.
So unless that's
I
all
mean,
kind of a misdirect.
I'm certainly wondering where this goes. Because there's certainly, homebrew races that
Yeah.
people can play, but as far as as I know, there's not like if you're gonna play a demon, here's the stat block,
Right.
So very curious where this goes and like what we find out about the character. And my association has always been like pretty evil. It's pretty starkly evil. So I'm very curious like what 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 Whitney Moore has in mind. And again, could this be someone allied to one of the killed gods, or what might that look like?
Yeah, it's it's giving Jester vibes, but again, that's just a very easy comparison to make. I'm very curious, like what her personality will be. And honestly, talking about kind of homebrewing the demon potentially, I do wonder if there will be not necessarily like a brand new class that we've never heard of, but I certainly expect
Right.
there to be homebrew elements because there's been that in every campaign so far. And I know this is Brennan and not Matt, but we know that Brennan is no stranger to that either, having,
Yep.
especially coming off the heels of Wizard, Witch, and the Wild One, like the Witch class was all homebrewed.
Right. Right.
So yeah, I would expect to see some like brand new stuff that they've cooked up for this.
Mhm.
But Whitney Moore is the cast member I know the least about, so I'm particularly excited to like get to know her and see kind of how she plays
Yeah.
D&D.
Yeah.
I'm guessing she's a the Dimension 20 alum, but I don't know.
I don't think so, but
Okay.
maybe. Let's see. Maybe she was.
I've heard the
I
name.
haven't seen her on Dimension 20, but she could be. I'm not sure. So,
Maybe
let's
just
see what
maybe just an industry
she was.
friend.
Yeah, no.
She wasn't in it.
Oh, wait, no, this is Critical Role content, so never mind. Yeah, I have no idea, actually. I'm not sure.
Y'all have to let us know.
Yeah.
All right, and then last but not least here, we have Alexander Ward as Octus Taconis.
Yep.
Okay.
Good job.
Octus, really cool name. Gives me like Metal Gear Solid vibes. But this character looks really cool. Do we know the class?
No.
Okay, he's giving like Artificer because of like the potions or like Alchemist. I don't know if that's a thing, but
It is. Alchemist is a subclass
okay.
for Artificer.
Then yeah, like
So-
that's the vibe I'm getting for sure. He's got like the book, like maybe two
He's
little
got a
constructs.
syringe. He's got a syringe on his leg.
Yeah.
I mean, the first thought was from the book was spell book for a wizard.
Oh yeah. I mean, honestly,
but I
makes more
think
sense.
it matches Alchemist better. Just seeing like the crafty potions and
Yeah.
like in the syringe.
and I mean, in terms of wizard, those little things could be familiars as opposed
Yes.
to like
Yes.
constructs. It is interesting that
Which-
there's two of them.
Yeah, wizard subclass. Well, it could be something like duplicitous with like there's only one, but there's always two, but it's really one, but
Yeah.
there's always like a duplicate or something. I don't know. Let's see. I can't remember if there's a potion. I don't think there's an alchemist subclass or something like that for wizards, but anyway, definitely the evidence is there for both, for
Yeah.
sure.
But love the design on this one.
Yeah.
Really,
You guys let us know what
Go
else
ahead.
we may not know of
Yeah.
in terms of these characters. And let's talk about what we know about the tables
Yeah.
and maybe some guesses. We don't have to necessarily, go in depth on like who's going to be in what, but
Yeah.
what we know is we have Brennan has told us these players will all come together in the first few episodes and they'll split off into their independent tables. And these tables were seekers, soldiers, and spies. Is that right?
Scholars, I want to say.
Scholars.
Soldier,
Scholars, seekers.
scholar, seeker.
Okay. Scholar, soldier, seeker. And I think the way Brennan described it was asking the players, what kind of play style do you appreciate, and sort of letting them.
Wait, that's wrong. Schemer is one of them.
Schemer. Yes.
Soldier, scholar, or
Yes.
seeker. It's like
Okay,
a
hang on.
studious one, a soldier one,
Hang
and a scheming one. I don't know if
I'm
it's scholar
pretty
or
sure-
seeker.
I think it's schemers, soldiers, seekers.
Okay, yeah.
I think.
Who's on first?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here it is. Yeah. 3 smaller tables, soldiers, seekers, and schemers.
Okay.
Which soldiers are like people who enjoy combat.
Right.
Seekers were people who like lore effectively, and schemers were people who liked the intrigue. All
Like
three major
hijinks.
pillars. Yeah, major pillars of D&D.
Yeah.
We've had various in promotional videos. We've had whiteboards with like different players written out. We know lore wise there are the gods have been killed or destroyed or what have you. You have references to something called the Sundered Houses. And we had confirmed from Marisha that the starting city, and this is the world of Araman, the starting city is Dol Makiar.
Dol Makiar. Okay.
Yeah, which I think that's pronounced right.
DM for short.
DM for short, sure. And then some of the other groups that have been mentioned. This comes, by the way, from Redditor East _Choice, who says in the whiteboard screenshots we can see some main groups. We see the Dol Makiar, which is presumably people from that city, the Pentaraval, the Torn Banner, and the Sundered Houses, which Brennan has mentioned the Sundered Houses before. And that various other details, which I'm a little hesitant because I feel like when we dive into like screenshots from character sheets, people got real mad about Sam's character. So we won't spoil too much, but guesses from this Redditor is that and these are 4 tables, so it doesn't match the 3 table setup, but there seems to be some connections with Sam, Whitney, and Ashley. Separately, Robbie, Laura, and Marisha. Separately, Abria, Liam, Taliesin, and Luis. And then lastly, Travis, Alex, and Matt. Whether those things play out that way, who knows? But certainly after the first few episodes, we will see our tables come together. And I think we talked about this. Brennan said, like, we'll follow a table for a handful of episodes at a time, and then we'll rotate to another story.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Some of those, and I mean, I know that's not confirmed. This is just one guy's speculation, but some of those would surprise me. In terms, I mean, we don't know anything, especially about the characters' personalities. So really, anyone could be a schemer, a scholar, or a seeker.
Yeah.
And I don't even remember all the names you said anymore. But
well, and to be clear, this is someone looking at all these whiteboard things, and because Brendan had written out some of these things, so there's probably some kind of guess. There's some good guesses around this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, there you go.
Interesting. Okay, well, very, very quickly, let's just run through and give our own guess. Like, just purely based on first impression vibe. Like, so where would you classify Sir Julian? I already forgot how do you say the last name again. Divinos?
Oh, in terms of the 3 tables?
Yeah.
Davanos.
I
would put him, so lore, fighting, and intrigue. I would put him under the soldier.
I think I agree, mostly because he seems to be fighter, and not, that doesn't necessarily mean that Matt's interested in combat. And if anything, I would put Matt in one of the other 2 tables based on like how I understand Matt. But I think fighter, maybe it would make sense to be soldier as well. So I would agree with you. Travis. Taor Prideshire.
Fighter or maybe seeker for like if he's a paladin, like trying to find, like maybe he's lost his connection and he wants to like rediscover. So I could see either there.
I completely agree, which I hope I don't just say that every time, but I could see fighter because like it makes sense, but I could see like depending on like his mission as a paladin, like maybe he's he's in search of knowledge.
Yeah.
Next up we got Laura as Thimble.
I think schemer, 100%.
Yeah. Like it's gotta be, right?
Gotta be.
Maybe soldier, but I'm thinking schemer.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a schemer for sure.
Next up, Taliesin as Blair.
This one's so tough for me, man. Didn't you say like Taliesin said he was like a museum curator?
Yes. Like he like either owns a museum or something like that.
Yeah. That detail alone makes me think seeker. Just because of like trying to acquire things. Character art, there's so much intrigue, so I think schemer.
Yeah.
Um, no, what do you think?
That's where I'm at as well. Like my first gut is schemer, but I could see seeker as well.
Yeah,
He seems like a little
yeah,
schemer though, you know?
he does. It seems like museum feels like a front for
Yeah.
whatever.
You
But
know, did all those museum artifacts get acquired legally? You know, like
yeah,
I could
right,
see
exactly.
some hijinks
Knows
going on
some
there.
people for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah,
Next up, we've got Ashley as Valus. I'm getting Seeker here,
I'd have to say Seeker too. Yeah,
which who knows, right?
but
That could
but
go any
you know,
way, but
I'm gonna say something that's not meant to be mean.
oh,
Ashley's one of my favorites. Feel like it's not Ashley's strong suit of lore and so part of me's like I don't know. If the players chose, so which
true.
it's probably I think she probably has a lot of fun with that kind of stuff too. So, I just that probably came across super rude. I didn't mean it that way.
No,
I don't
no,
think she's incapable. I think in fact most of the table is in any D&D table. You mentioned the player, the NPC, and everyone's like, "Who is that again?" And
yeah,
it's always like one person, usually Travis, who's like, "That's the guy," So, but yeah, taking away my personal bias, I would say probably Seeker for sure.
I agree. Next up, we've got Liam as Halandil, and I mean schemer, right? I mean Bard. Maybe that's not a fair jump to make, but that's the vibe I'm getting for sure.
We'll know in the first app for sure. Stupid statement to make, but based on how he plays the bard,
Yeah,
because I could see fighter like want to avenge my brother,
true.
or
True.
schemer, bard always kind of knows what threads to pull on. Yeah, I could see that too.
And it is in like a meta way, it is interesting to think about like how these tables were constructed. Like was it pre even character creation? Like Brennan
Mm,
sorted them into those groups and then maybe they built their characters based on that? Or like, at what point in the process did that happen? Because like maybe even the characters themselves have nothing to do with the tables, but I would find that hard to
yeah,
believe.
yeah.
All right. Next up, we've got Marisha as Murray. And
Oh man, that's
kind of
tough.
gives vibe of a schemer, but
I can see that.
basing it more on Marisha, I would think Seeker.
I think if the subclass ends up being Artificer, I would think Seeker would be my guess.
Just
But
because
we'll have to see.
she's very much the lore hound, the note taker. So like I could see her really wanting to like dig into the new world.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
All right, next up we've got Sam as Wykander. This one's
think
tough.
if I didn't know Sam at all, I would say Seeker.
Agreed.
Sam
But
always Sam is the wild
he
card.
he is the real life schemer. So
Yes. That's why I think Schemer.
but like maybe he wants to play
So,
against maybe he wants to do something different, you know?
come
So
on, dude. You think Sam's gonna be straight and narrow? Just
I mean, even
you
if he's
know.
at the seeker table, he will still be scheming. But
Yeah.
I just wonder if maybe he's
Which
trying to
is
be
something
something else.
interesting is like kind of the nuance of like being at a table but like working to the advantage of another table. I could see Sam just expect pure hijinks from Sam.
Yeah,
Is what I'm thinking.
agreed.
So
But yeah, seeker or schemer, we seem to agree there. Next, Luis as Azun. And feels pretty straightforward as soldier here.
that's kind of my guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too.
Which we need some soldiers. We've really only had Matt as like a maybe so far.
Yeah.
So I think this
And
would make
I
sense.
know the least about Luis Carrazzo. Like I haven't watched his show. I've only seen him in Calamity. So I need to see some other personality, like how he plays at a table
Yeah.
for me to have a better idea. So but I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying soldier for now.
Then next up we've got Robbie as Cadigan. And again, I'm getting soldier vibes here.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I
Like
think so. I think
maybe
you're right.
that's not fair though. He just seems to be the most you'd throw him into a fight, but
Yeah.
that's not to say
Dude
he couldn't be
looks
a big
sick,
old schemer.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. He looks awesome.
Then next up we've got Abria as Taisha. This one's tough, but I'm leaning Seeker.
I'm gonna say Seeker, only also knowing that Abria is a DM, is a great lore builder. I think
Yeah.
there's some great symbiosis there, I guess.
Mhm.
And so I'm gonna say Seeker for her as well.
I could also just see like a druid being in search of some
Yeah.
knowledge for some reason.
Yeah. I like
Again,
that.
not that
That's
like
good.
the table designations are that literal, but
Yeah.
anyway. Then next up we've got Whitney as Tyranny. And again, maybe because I'm
Schemer?
yeah, maybe it's because I'm getting channeled so much Jester, but that spells Schemer to me. But I also don't know Whitney at all, so like,
Yeah.
you know, I don't feel like Soldier, but
No, I don't
could
think so.
could be Schemer, could be Seeker.
Yeah. I guess we'll see. Yeah.
And then finally we have Alexander Ward as Octus and Seeker for me here.
Yeah. I'd agree.
Especially if whether he's a wizard or an artificer, it just seems like that's somebody that really is after knowledge.
And just very well tailored clothes. Yeah. Definitely not soldier.
Yeah.
And again, probably a stupid thing to say. We'll know by the first episode. We'll kind of get an idea of like how much public persona these characters put off, and then in their quieter moments with the party members, their true nature. And I think that'll.
And I guess we might not know at least the official table. Like, we might not know the split until like episode 5, right?
Yeah, I think that's right.
So
4 or 5. Yeah, that's right.
And I mean, again, nobody knows anything. They could do whatever, right? But if we are assuming any type of actual like party composition, then like, a cleric or a healer, somebody we wouldn't think of as a soldier, might be on the soldier table because they need a healer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So really anything could happen, but I think we pretty much agreed, even though we had multiple choices for some of them, but I don't think we disagreed anywhere there.
I think it will be interesting to see how the tables split and what like gaps there are. Like if the soldiers don't have any healers, in their combat, I guess they'd get some help if one of them was a paladin, like Azune, whatever.
Yeah.
Ahun is a WoW raid boss, not important. But yeah, those gaps would be interesting. Anything else that I don't want to like just wax poetically and endlessly about all the potential things that could happen and what might happen. And obviously you and I are massive Brendan Lee Mulligan fans, but I guess what I'd ask you would be any general like hopes for this campaign. Like, I think some people that they, 1 second. All right, sorry about that.
No worries.
I kept saying I'm on a call, and she kept like, "Are you there?" So I need like a recording thing. Anyway, so what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I've seen some like posts that are like, "Oh, I hope there's a romance between these characters," and I know you and I don't really operate that way, but like, do you have any hopes? And I'm gonna say something different here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna also ask you in a minute what's like your biggest prediction or theory. So this is a separate question.
Okay.
What's something that for you to enjoy it, what are some things that you would hope to see or that you think you might see?
Oh man. I think I'm going to enjoy it no matter what. So like, I don't know if I have any like particular like wants insofar as that. I don't know. That's tough. Like, do you have anything in particular? And that might give me an idea of like,
out of the world, I'm excited to see Sam's shirts. We're gonna
yeah. Okay.
Get the shirt routine.
Yeah.
And see, what ads does he come up with?
Yes. Ooh, especially when they do break up, like unless they just pre-record it all, like maybe it'll always be Sam even when he's not playing. But I wonder how they're gonna handle those responsibilities.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to like some Brendan Lee Mulligan isms that make me like question my life and
100%
how I fit in it.
100%. Should we get an incredible counter for the start of this campaign?
Yes, we do need that.
Incredible.
I'm ready for the first moment for Laura Bailey to convince Brennan to give her some additional leeway on something. I saw that Talison's playing a homebrew warlock. So
Oh,
I'm looking forward to whatever shenanigans and
interesting.
things he's put together for the Warlock. So
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So those types of things. Okay. Yeah. In that case, I'm really excited to see Sam like break Brennan at some point with just something,
yes,
ridiculous that
yes,
he does. Also, Laura, by that same
yep,
metric, with one of her
yep.
innuendos. I'm. I'm excited for a lot of Matt stuff. I don't know. I wouldn't know how to
Mm,
necessarily like quantify it because it's all new, but I'm just
yeah,
excited to see like just like how we talked about with Taliesin and Sam and Laura, like what that's gonna be for Matt. Like
yeah,
what kind of player is he? And I think he's gonna be a fantastic player because DMs
yeah,
usually are. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, I'm mostly just excited to see the dynamics, and then this would be in the future, but especially once they start
Yeah.
swapping and mixing
Yes.
groups. Because like you mentioned, I can't remember what character it was in reference to, but like how there might even be like a spy. Like so, if there
Mm,
are like hidden alliances that we get much revealed later in the campaign, Liam, if that is his brother, that's like the
mm,
guy being executed. Like, like the Critical Role cast always is trying to like, surprise each other and really like
hmm.
have these big moments with each other. So, people got some stuff cooking. So I just
Yeah.
can't wait to see like those types of things revealed.
Yes, that's right. And speaking of Matt, I loved you mentioned. I'm just excited to see him as a player. And I mean, I just can't help but feel like this campaign is going to just revive whatever creativity has been he's so
Yes.
amazingly poured out over the
Yes.
last several years. Like I just have to imagine this is going to be such a great experience for him, and excited to see what comes after. But more importantly, I'm just glad he gets to sit in this seat. And being a DM is a thankless job, and in the case of Critical Role, it's a highly criticized job.
Yeah. Yeah.
So very excited for him. So yeah,
100%. And yeah, it's a great point that I really hadn't even been considering, just the fact that like how much of a refresh this is going to be for him.
yeah,
And man, Brennan's already been through this, having DM'd for Critical Role before,
yeah,
both literally in campaign 3 but also in things like Calamity and Downfall. So like it's
yeah,
not as if this is a new thing, but also man, just the pressure. Like
yeah,
you are
hmm,
now helming the main campaign start to finish.
yeah.
Like I have no hesitation, no doubt whatsoever that he's gonna crush it. But like that's not a position I envy being in because like, ugh, like and the
He's
guy is you're playing at your table too.
yeah. I mean, he's helming arguably two of the biggest, you know,
Arguably
slowly taking
three
over. So,
if you
oh yeah,
count Dimension 20 as well.
yeah.
Um.
So
So yeah, he's definitely
anyway,
prepared.
okay. In world, this is sort of my last thing. You might have something else, but um, hit me with a spicy prediction. Any spicy
Man.
predictions for the campaign, for the story? Could be, you know, things that might happen between the players, or could be a
So
lore thing if you've been thinking about it. What's your prediction?
I haven't been thinking about it too much, only because like I didn't know how fruitful it would be. Like since there's really just we don't know that much, so I haven't spent too much time trying to crack the Da Vinci Code. But um, knowing Brennan, this isn't to say that he's a one trick pony, far from it. But knowing what kind of stories he likes to tell, with like corruption and the
Mhm.
abuse of power, and
Brennan
also
loves capitalism.
yes,
So
huge fan. Also, the little bit we know about like the inciting incident of this being a very public execution that like people haven't been invited to. Um, I don't know how familiar you are with One Piece. Uh, do you even know what I'm talking about when I say that?
it's anime.
Yeah.
People on Reddit really
It
like it. It's
it
like really long.
similarly has an inciting incident at the very beginning where a very famous criminal is
Okay.
executed publicly to basically send a
Okay.
message. And so I'm not saying Brennan is
Yeah.
homaging to, maybe he is, but just there's obviously similarities there. And in that case, it was like a very public message from like the world government to be like, we're sending a message, but it kind of had the reverse effect because the criminal that was executed basically set off this new era of other criminals to kind of follow in his footsteps. And so I'm
Mm.
kind of wondering is a similar thing going to happen here where this criminal basically like sets off all of these adventurers on like some sort of quest or mission,
Hmm.
Which I don't know. It just feels like this could be in typical Brennan fashion. Like the powers that be that are setting this execution are hopefully corrupt, and we can
Yes.
maybe even say evil. And so,
Yeah.
like our players here are potentially Liam being the brother of the victim are going to be
Yeah.
motivated to like seed out this corruption, figure out why this happened, what's going on. Like that's my general
Yeah.
theory, I guess, is that people in power bad, characters trying to do something about it. Siri, what are you yelling at me for?
Speaking of on that, I'm so excited for like you and I always love the lore, just
Yeah.
like the fresh lore, the fresh world. I'm excited for like the first map builders and like
Yes.
people putting stuff together and like
Yes.
additional fan art and like all of that stuff. Exandria is amazing, but there's just something about a new world and understanding factions and interplays and like what's happening and very excited for that as well.
Agreed. It's just a brand new map completely covered in fog of war that no one knows
Yeah.
anything about, and we all get to kind of discover it together. So I'm
And
very
and for the
excited.
listeners, people who aren't sorry to interrupt you, Will.
Yeah.
People who aren't necessarily fully familiar with Brennan, he if you listen to Wizard Witch and the Wild One, which is arguably the only other situation where he's done like a public facing long term campaign. Um, he does such a great job of those breadcrumbs too,
Mm,
of like little history notes and like things that happened and referencing things, little
yes.
breadcrumbs. So I think we're gonna get that too, which I'm really excited about.
Same.
So, um, my prediction, I'll give two,
Okay.
and there's levels to one of them, but one prediction I have is I think we're gonna see two of the tables oppose one another in some way,
Mm.
and either in terms of their missions and what they want, and I think it could even at some point become full blown PvP. In that we see, I think that kind of concept's a little awkward in pre-campaign 4 when it's like these are the people at the table. You only have 6 people at the table.
Right.
Though we did have some cool moments in campaign 3. But I could absolutely see tables opposing one another and maybe even coming to blows at some point, which Brennan is also not unfamiliar with Calamity. So we have that.
Yeah.
And then my biggest prediction is I think we could see a TPK of an entire
Of one of the
group,
tables.
of one of the tables.
Mm.
I think Brennan. I feel like obviously Matt hasn't published anything like this. I'm totally making this up, but I followed some campaign 2 conversations when a certain character died, and Matt didn't apologize, I don't think, but had to be like, "Hey, like the players try." There was just some very harsh feelings around that whole situation, and I don't necessarily feel like Matt didn't have the teeth to make that decision in campaign 3. But I certainly wouldn't have been surprised if he felt hesitant to make that decision because of community just addiction to it's got to be these 6 characters. I feel like with 13 people, that's not as a present factor, and also knowing Brennan seemingly being very comfortable with consequences like that from past content. I just wonder, could we see a table be absolutely killed? And we also don't know how resurrection works in this world either. So could we see a table get wiped out and a new? Could this be how some of the tables come together because it's new characters who are joining a table?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I could see it. I mean, if ever it was more likely, it would be in a situation like this where there's so many and different tables. Because it would even be the perfect. Let me say, I don't think Matt ever shied away from it. I mean, we all know on some level DMs might do some stuff here and there, but and who knows what's going on in Matt's head actually, right? But something he's often said is that he does not care or consider what the reaction is to anything. Like,
That's fair. Yeah.
So while that's easy to say, but then have 500 million DMs like trashing you every day, like. So
Yeah.
I don't think Matt has ever like intentionally not killed somebody for that reason. But that being said, this obviously would be like the best case scenario to have that happen in, because like even if there was a TPK, there would be a question of like, oh, do they just not have a show next week because like they got to make new characters, yada yada yada.
Right.
Here it would be like, well, let's just go to a different table and they have
Right.
time to figure this out. So if ever, campaign 4 would make sense for something like that, I think.
Yeah. And to be clear, I don't think Brennan would ever purposefully kill a table.
Right. Yeah,
I just
don't
think
either.
Brennan is like, hey, make good decisions.
Yeah, the cards will fall as they will.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like what you said about the conflict. I could certainly see that. Now, whether or not it literally becomes like an established like PvP battle royale episode, I don't know if it would like literally go to that extent where like, hey, we're meeting up, we got to kill each other. But I could certainly see like mixed objectives that conflict with one another. Like, oh, we're trying to invade this museum to steal something, and it's like, oh no, we have to protect the knowledge, and you know, like, and so there could be like competing objectives that could lead to PvP, and I think that would be cool. So,
and Towson's like, that's my museum.
Yeah.
No. What are you guys doing? Yeah. Cool. I'm excited. I do, man. I wish we had crit roll stats, but like I said, the critical role wiki.
We do have the. Well, I guess I don't know actually. Is the Omen Archive? They kind of stepped in and did crit roll stats-esque stuff after they shut down. I don't know. I haven't checked in with them in a while. So maybe they've put out an announcement, maybe they haven't, on whether or not they're going to be doing campaign 4.
Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, and they've been doing all the live shows.
Okay. So I'm sure they'll be doing
the summer. So yeah.
C4.
Yeah, they will. And they really, Omen Archive for me really fills that quirky stat thing that we would have in crit roll stats.
Yeah.
Of like just things that, you know, who dealt the most damage, stuff like that's always really, really fun. Like the more, you know, nuts and bolts side of the table. So, but yeah, they're active. They will be active for campaign 4. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, I think
all that's left now is, I guess, just to check out episode 1 and just a day away.
Yep. And if you made it this far in the video, I think I said this at the start, but every Tuesday we'll have our breakdown of the episode. That'll be sometime on Tuesday. And if we ever don't meet that, we'll just let you know in advance if it's not Tuesday, I guess it would be Wednesday for sure. But anyway.
Yes.
And I think they are keeping to the 3-on, 1-off.
Okay. That would make sense. I hadn't heard one way or the other, but that would be my guess.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, y'all, again, we already mentioned it earlier, but, and if you made it this far, you definitely already know, but we'll be having our watch parties every week, Thursday, when the episode is airing, live chatting with a bunch of other like-minded critters. So would love to have you join us for that. You can find a link to the Discord in the description below if you are watching on YouTube. If you're listening to the podcast, I don't think we have a specific URL, but so you might just need to come on over to the YouTube to find the link that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, would love to have you guys.
All right. Bye.
Bye, y'all.
See ya.